Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the Dow Jones today? So before we look at the daily pictures and the lower time frames that allow us to trade, let's just have a look at what the bigger picture is on the monthly. So the monthly closed off with a doji with a much longer tail to the upside than to the downside, which to me is indicating that the sellers are still very much in control of the Dow Jones. Okay, we do have a little bit of an upward trend line here, but in my eyes there is nothing really bullish about what we see on the monthly. Okay, you can see how we're below the 5 moving average and we are failing to get through there. So the sellers are just selling off the 5 moving average at the moment. If we see how the weekly closed with a bit of a pin bar, but then in typical weekend fashion, we have gap to the downside and we are moving down at the moment. Okay, so if I just adjust this line here, okay, so that brings 1, 2, it brings 3. This trend line that I've got in here is on the lower time frame. It's pretty much a 200 moving average on the daily, so we'll get there now. It's also the bottom of this tail, and remember this is the level that I highlighted last week. If we break below this, we start looking at these targets to the downside, and the first target was pretty much hit, which was this inside tail here. Let's just get to the daily. Okay, so that would have been the first target there, that one there, and you can see that was hit on Thursday and then we bounced up. Okay, so again we're making another attempt at the 200 moving average, which is here. Okay, we do have this. I'm going to delete this trend line and let's just tidy it up on the daily rather. So we've got that runs like that. Okay, now what I could do is adjust it to there, but yeah, the very first one, which would have been that one, broke a long time ago. So the next one is this one here. So I think that's how we need to leave it. Okay, so there could be another attempt at this level. We could find some support to the 200 moving average again and bounce to the upside. Anyway, you can see from an oscillator perspective, we haven't crossed over yet. So we are grouping on the one, and the other stochastic is close but not grouped just yet. So we drill down to 4 hour. You'll see we've had one attempt to break through the 20 moving average. We had 2 attempts to break through the 20 moving average. Okay, now what we are looking for. So if we're looking for a bullish move, and that in my mind is probably the higher probability trade, we're going to have to see what happens at this level here. Okay, if we start finding some support at this level, then we have a move to the upside potentially. However, if we don't find support here and we start moving to the downside, then this level and the low of Friday is the next, low of Thursday is the next level to be tested. Okay, if you look at the 4 hour, you can see we've had a crossover of the stochastics, which indicating more downside. Okay, so essentially what we're looking for is a higher low. Okay, so I don't want this fractal to break. If this fractal breaks, then we have downside. But with us sitting at the 200 moving average, I'm very, very wary of taking a short at this level, even if we do break this. I will still play the long until we have a rejection of that 200 EMA on the daily confirmed. Okay, so what is a play for today? So firstly, let's just get rid of that one, and let's just highlight how the closing range played out. Remember, the closing range is the last 2 hour candles on the Dow of the day before. We broke to the upside and breakout target was hit and target 2 was hit, which coincided with the 200 EMA on the hour. Okay, so that was your trade for Friday, was a long, and you're pretty much looking for, if you didn't get in really early over here, which you probably wouldn't have because it hadn't broken the range, but if you got in on the break of the range, you see target 1 was hit, target 2 was hit. Okay, could have got in on the rebound here, and target 2 was hit. Okay, so, and this often plays out like this. When first target gets hit, it pulls back, and then you higher probability of us hitting the target number 2, which normally always happens. So, in saying that, we had a big sell-off at the close on Friday. And you can see we have broken down through this range. So the breakout target is pretty much at this area here. Okay, so it's a little bit far gone for me to get in. If we were close to the top here, I would be looking for a short. So for me, I'm just going to wait to see what happens at the breakout target on these pin bars. If we do start getting some bullish action here, I will take a long. Okay, this will be a very good risk to reward. Well, not really, 123 points, so they're still pretty large, but far better than trying to take a short here with a stop up here. Okay, so I'm going to wait for price action to dictate and see what happens at this level. If we do get any kind of bullish action, I'll take the trade to the upside. This is a 200 moving average, so I would suspect that we get something off this level. Okay. And what else can we see here? There's nothing really else we can see, even if we drill down to lower time frames. This will be trend to the downside at the moment. There it is, trend to the downside. And you can see how the 20 moving average on the 12 played a major role this morning, holding up price, and then we started selling off. Okay, so yeah, I'm not interested in taking this short here, not so close to the 200-day moving average. So I will wait and see what transpires. If we do start getting some bullish action, I will take a stab at the long, but this will more than likely get tagged first. So the breakout target will probably get tagged, and target 2 being over here could also get tagged before the US Open. Okay, so that's my take on the Dow at the moment. It's really just sitting on my hands until the Europe Open, and we'll take it from there. But watch these 2 levels. Any kind of bullish action here, it will be a worthwhile trade to the upside. Okay, hope it helps, guys. Stay safe, keep the stops tight, and enjoy the day. I'll catch you later. Cheers, man.